Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this Tuesday. We have an exciting crafting happening today. Co-founder Debbie Budge, she's going to be sharing with us the Joy to the World paper crafting kit. This is the Kiwi Club show and tell, so she's going to share with us what she created with that kit. I have to tell you, there's been a lot of positive comments in the community. Everyone seems to love this beautiful kit. It's very Christmas oriented. The paper is beautiful. There's a lot you can do with it. Debbie, if you want to introduce yourself, and we'll wait for some comments to pop up.
Okay, I bet a lot of people are busy on this particular afternoon after the holidays. So we'll see who pops in, but I know it's recorded and people can watch it later. So, but I'm Debbie Budge, one of the co-founders of Kiwi Lane Designs. And as one of the co-founders, we take the Kiwi Club kit every month. We get it about a month or so ahead, and we design with it. Susan Shallow and I each get a kit, and we are all in different states. So we don't know what each other will be doing with it. We just take it ourselves, like when you get it, and then we do what we want with it. We scrap with it. Sometimes we craft with it. Other times we make cards with it, but we do that so that we can have a PDF idea book for you to give you some ideas, some things we did. But then we see everything that's posted after the kits are shipped out. And I'm like, why didn't I think of that? They're so cute, all of the ideas. And so I think I need a second kit so that I can go back and incorporate some of your awesome ideas into my layouts. But today I'm going to share with you what I did with it. There's also an idea book that you can get free from the shop. You just go in and find it under idea books for the year. This would be December 2021. And pop it into the cart. It's free. You just complete the checkout process, and that puts it in your download section of your accounts where you can access it anytime. You can download it to your computer. If you can't find it again, you go back to your download section on your account, and it'll be there for you to use anytime. That's how I get it. That's how I see it also. So today I'm just going to share with you what I did. Do we have people?
Yes, we have lots of comments. So
awesome.
Jump in. I will be posting the link to the idea book for December into the chat when I hop off so that you can access that, everybody. So I'm going to let Debbie take it from here.
All right. Thanks, Sonia.
Thank you.
And I'm looking at the comments right now. West Kentucky. I just moved to Virginia from Kentucky. And so I'm adjusting to the weather. I hear you in Texas had a summer Christmas this year, and it was much colder for me. I was bundled up, just getting used to the difference in the temperature. Debbie McGrath, hi Debbie from Virginia. Hello from Austin, Texas, Michelle. And we've got Cheryl and Deborah Johnson. Snowed in. Oh my goodness, I haven't seen snow yet here. So we're still waiting for that. Darlene, Grand Rivers, Kentucky, and Dawn, sunny Florida, and Peggy, Paris, Texas. A lot of Texans here. And Melissa from Arkansas. I'm glad you could join me today. And I'm just going to share with you what I did. I've tried to lay it out so it made sense, and I'll hold up the layouts and different things and try to pull it closer for you to see some of the details. And if you have questions, you need to go ahead and ask them. I might not catch it immediately, but before we close today, I will go through the comments and answer any of the questions that I can. So this month's kit, December, was Joy to the World. This was the insert for it. And it shows some of the samples pictures, but it also shows the templates, and the templates were really great. I've got them right here, so let me hold them up for you. It was the piece set, and there were 6 pieces. We had a fun border piece, 5 and 6, so you'll see that used in the layouts and designs. We had the most adorable little bird. I really enjoyed the bird. And I'll show you what I did with it when I used it. You could probably see it better on my shirt. And we had like a poinsettia flower. And you can do this a lot of different ways. I looked in the idea book just today. I hadn't seen it, so I hadn't really seen what Susan and Shiloh had done. But they did some really cute ideas. So be sure and get that idea book, because there's different ways that we each did this, and it's fun to see. And I'm like, why didn't I think of that? Then there's this lovely lantern, which I love. You can use that for so many different things. Even putting a picture in the middle of it would be great. But they also gave us this candle. Out here, I see a lot of candles in windows. Like if you have a house that has several windows in the front, there's like a candle in every one. I really like that look. I'm sure they're not real candles with matte, flames on them, but this could represent that too and be a really great look for out here. But it goes great also with, let me see if my fingers can hold that up, putting the candle right in the lantern, and that is fun, really fun. It's cute. So let me get started with just showing you what I did. I'm going to start with a layout I did from the Kiwi Crew pictures. So at Kiwi Home Office, each year there's like a little Christmas party for all the Kiwi Crew people. And last year, and I scrapbooked last year's because I had to scrapbook this back in November, early November. So I had to use last year. So this year's will be for next year. But we did a service project and made wreaths and things for a nursing home. And then we also just had fun. We like to do that. And of course, food, that type of thing is always involved in that. But this year we went to a ceramic shop and we all got to choose something to paint and have fired. And so let's see if this comes up correctly. If you can see this, put it in 2 hands and then hold it up. I don't know which way it's coming up on you. So yeah, I think that's the way. So you can see pictures of some of our Kiwi crew, Jen and Carrie and Lynn. She ships all your packages. And then Jessica, many of you have gotten help with support. And this is Shiloh, and then just a group picture of us that went out that night. It was so fun, and these were such fun pictures. But I want to show you some of the close-up details of what I did. I'll just show you one page at a time so I can see you and you can see me. Okay, so I used the large brackets, and I used 2 different ones. So this is the one that's down here. The large brackets has 3 in the set. And the border that came with it, the fun border, was this piece. And this plaid piece that you can see here, that's done with this. You can see that right there as I go. I'm below it now. So I used a large bracket on one side and a large bracket on the other. And then I put the piece fun border kind of aligned up with it also. And then I really wanted to use, this was such a fun time. We were outside, there's a skating rink right behind us, and the shop we went to was just off the skating rink. It was really, really pretty. There were lights everywhere. So I added that Nativity Star. Now the Nativity Set was a new one that was released this year. So I was able to use some from that set for my December Kiwi Club. And I did that here. And then the poinsettia that came with our set, I used here, and I cut 2 of them off. So I did a lighter one, and then I did kind of the burgundy red one so that I could tilt it and layer it together. And I don't know if you can tell, but can you see the gold tips that I put on there? I actually really love red and gold at Christmas time. The richness of it really touches my heart. And so I tipped these flowers with the gold stickles. If you don't have any, they're super fun, easy to use, and dry pretty quickly. And then on the back one, and then I added some of these epoxy and glitter dots for the middle. For instead of doing the circles, I added these instead to give it some, dimension and texture. I also like the idea of some of the red berries, and so I used tiny plants, which are so fun, and I'm finding so many uses for them. And that was this piece, and I just popped it out there, and then I put some jewels on it. I have a stash of jewels and epoxy dots. Let me show you. So I got these boxes from like Hobby Lobby, and in it I just have a bunch of random jewels you can see. And I have another one for the kind of dots and such. And I just use these over and over again. They're inexpensive and they add just a really fun touch. I also did gold on the tips of the star. And I'm hoping you can see the sparkle with the light that I have in front of me. And I used an epoxy gold glitter dot too. So that gave it a nice touch, and that I like. I like gold and the reds and the gold together. On this other page, I used the lantern, which was so fun, and the candle. And see if you can see that shine on the candle, because it was, what I did was I took the same stickles and I just dripped it after I cut this out. Seeing if you can see that. I just dripped stickles down like the wax was melting, which really was easy, and it turned out so cute. I also tipped the ornament with the stickles and a gold epoxy glitter dot and some jewels. I wanted to dress up the ornament, which is this Joy a la carte. And I love plants. Most people who know me know that. So I just thought this looks so cute together. And so I decided to do that for the decoration on the ornament, and it came out like this. And I think it turned out really cute. I just kind of did the tip in the lighter paper to go with the candle and tipped it with gold. And then I did the body of it in the red and the green, and it turned out really cute. I was really happy with it. And then the last place I kind of really focused was this beautiful bird. Let's see if I can change sides. I want you to see that I also have some gold tips. Hopefully you can see the jewel in the middle of another tiny plant. And then just the nose, the top of the birds, and the tip of the tail in that gold stickles, which added, kind of carried over that feeling throughout, and then just added a fun holiday flair to it. It turned out really good. It was fun to do. I ended up adding, I had seen this on somebody else posted, and I don't remember who it was. I know you know who you are, but I loved the look of just the little almost snow dots or star dots. And I just took a white gel pen and added some dots throughout and on both sides of it. It ended up being a really cute and fun memory from last year's Christmas with Kiwi. And so I'm really happy to have been able to do that this year. So that's the one I did. Any questions on that one? I will check real quick here while I pull up the other one. Check for questions. Okay, she's got the, she's putting up the sets I use, so you can link directly to it in the shop. Oh, thank you, Patty. She said, love your layout. I love Christmas layouts. It's so fun, just like Christmas and the fun pictures that you take. So, and Patty's from Kansas, Ellie from Virginia. Thank you so much. Oklahoma, Arkansas, oh my goodness. And more Texas people. So that was the first layout I did, a 2-page layout. The second layout I did was just fun. Also, a lot of it is because they released the Gingerbread Set, in time for me to use it on this layout, and it's also been available to you all too. So I decided to scrapbook these pictures of two of my grandchildren. I think I'm at 27 grandchildren. I have to count again. That's the number that sticks in my mind with Aaron's youngest. So this one I did of pictures of my two grandchildren making gingerbread houses last year. If you can see that, it's also in the idea book. So I'm trying to hold this for you for a minute, and then I'll just show you some of the details. So it's kind of a fun tradition to do gingerbread houses. I had these two grandkids living with me with their family for a little while in Texas. And so we got them some gingerbread houses to work on, and it was fun to take the pictures. This is actually based upon the sketch that's contained in the idea book every month. Every month a sketch is provided. We get it when we work on the kits ahead of time, and then it's published in the idea book, and so you'll see it in there. And this is kind of the sketch. I was running out of ink, so you get this look, but it's nice and clear in the idea book. But this is the basic sketch I was looking at when deciding how to do this layout. And I did adapt it, you'll see, but you'll see kind of the pictures, and I put something here, and I put something here, and I put something here, and used borders, added an extra little border. So that's what the sketches are for. They're to spark an idea, give you kind of an layout to go along with, and then you change it up the way you want. And that's what we do. And you'll see probably 3 different ways that we did it in the idea book. So the main part I was looking at was kind of how they did the pictures on the sketch. So, you know, these were different sized pictures, and then kind of skinnier pictures, and 2 like that. And I did that too. So on this side, I cut down these pictures. I have a regular 4x6, and then like a 3x6, and then a 4x6. And then over here, I have the 3x6 and the 2, I think they're 4x4. And so that they go together that way. And I wanted a title. Those title cards that come with our sets are really cute and fun. And I wanted to pop that up. They were just so happy, and they were kind of working with gingerbread. So I wanted to include that kind of a feel. And this was a title card that I found a ring that would fit over it and allow me to show the entire saying. And if you can't read it, it says it's the most wonderful time of the year. And then I put the year in pen. There it is. So I wanted that gingerbread. Now the gingerbread guy came in the gingerbread set. Let me move these over. I'll be twisted around the whole time. I've got a table here on the side. There we go. I can reach them. And there's nothing cuter than a tiny anything. That's what I like. So this tiny gingerbread, he just sat right up there without any problem and just made this so adorable. And I added a little tree from the Wonderland set beside him. This one right there. And then a ring. I just traced, you know, the ring. I laid it over the sentiment card and then just traced around it so that would fit in. I also used the poinsettia again from the piece set that came with it. And you can see that what I did was cut out these parts, and I wanted to pull that gingerbread. Now, gingerbread paper didn't come with the set, but I just had some craft paper in my supply. So that's what I used. And I did that for these middle parts. I just traced them and cut them out and then put them back on there. I wanted a little bit of greenery around the middle of the poinsettia, and you can't even see this, it's so small. But it's from the Wonderland set also, and I just cut out a few and they fit in really well. And for the middle, with the gingerbread set came this doodle sheet, and you can see the spiral right there. I cut out a circle, and then I just placed this over the top of it and traced it in red ink. And then I just drew some lines to give it some variety in the middle there. So that's what I did on that one. As far as this, we had on this doodle sheet, you had all sorts of ways to use to decorate. So you can see this part down here, right there, was what I used for the corners of the hands and feet. And then I was able to decorate that, and just I used some epoxy dots for that little bow and a little smiley face, and that's all that took to make that so cute. On the other page is where I focused on the gingerbread. Now, we also had the gingerbread set that was released, and so I was just really anxious to play with it, and the pictures were perfect. So that's what I focused on this side. I added a tree and a tree. On this tree, it was part of the Rejoice design kit for the snap frames. And I went ahead and cut out these spots out of just basically white paper. And then I just used a pen. I wanted to add, a different look, some texture, some interest there. And I just used a pen and did straight lines and then dots on the star at the top. Added some sequins. I have a big jar of sequins. They'll last me my lifetime. So they're nice to add here and there. So for the gingerbread house, it was really fun. So it comes like this. And I wanted to make a white snowy roof. I had some Swiss polka dot paper. I don't know if you can see the polka dots on that pop out embossed, but I thought that would make a perfect snowy roof. So I cut that out separately. When I did that, I just cut out the roof separately. And then I used the blue paper from the kit to cut out the house part separately. You can see, and then I just used pop dots to pop that roof off on top. And that really worked really well. I also used, I cut out the windows. I used this as a stencil to cut out the windows and cut out the kind of, I call it like a stained glass window on top, or a candy window. I cut those out and then put them back together and put them on. But then for this kind of stained glass or candy window, after I cut the circle out, I used the spiral on this again to just make it look like a little peppermint candy is all. But the other thing, and then the door, again here, the door, I did want this to look like kind of gingerbread. So I did use some of my craft paper there, and around the door, I went ahead and did that. And then I cut another piece for the actual door part and a little pop epoxy sticker pop dot for the handle. But I really wanted a brick sidewalk, a little walkway coming up. So I decided to give it a try, and I used a ring to give me the curved feel. So I just found a spot that would work for me on the curve. And then I just cut strips of paper and clipped them and added them to make it look like a kind of a brick path going up to it. And it turned out okay. Oh, and this cute candy. Again, the gingerbread house. Let me hold that up one more time if you can get a feel for the whole thing. Let's see if they are together, hopefully. I'll pull back. I can't see you, so I hope that you can see this. If you have any questions on any of that, go ahead and post your questions. I'll take a quick peek here. Oh, good. Debbie likes the gingerbread layout. It was so fun. Gingerbread houses are fun, and pictures of just doing them are fun. And that gingerbread kit was perfect. It was fun. It was just fun to play with. It was fun, this whole thing. I don't know if you've tried yours yet, or if you haven't gotten one yet, but it was super fun. I have one more to share with you, and then I'll let you go. This one, I just had a few pictures, so I did a one-page layout. We had a tradition with our family when we were all living in Idaho and various other places we've lived to go caroling to neighbors and bring treats. And then when we can, to go to like a nursing home to sing. They just so appreciate it. And it's such a good experience for our family. So I had some pictures from a few years ago in Middleton when we were all living there. And of going, this is just Aaron, for any of you who know him, and little Bailey, that would have been Bailey. They have Mia, who's the little one now. And just some of the grandkids in our group that went there to sing that Christmas, probably just before Christmas. And what I did, since I just had the 3 pictures, I used the placemat 3. Let me pull this up, which just gave me immediately the kind of layout. So that sits there, and it's so easy after that. It even shows you where you can put pictures if you haven't used it, which I did. I put the large one and the small and small there like that. And that worked perfect. It had a little arrow, which I went ahead and traced and added without any stress or even thinking about it. I just followed what was given. I did want 2 colors here. So I actually, this is separate. I went ahead and traced this, just traced this on something else and cut this part out, leaving the middle all. I didn't use any of that paper. So I didn't waste a lot of paper at all. And that worked really great. I also still was in the sparkly. This time I used silver sparkle stickles. You can probably see on the star, I hope. And on the tree down here, these trees were just some sets from, let's see, Seasons. This was a tree from Seasons, the Tiny Seasons set. And this was still the Wonderland set, number 4. This was the Peace Fun border that we saw before, this one. And then I used the a la carte ornament and just added some fun sparkle to it too. It was quick. Now the Nativity set also came out. And so, yes, I added that. I went ahead and used the craft to give it that kind of wood feel. And then I laid it right over a title card and I just trimmed it down. And then for the spots here, I went ahead and cut those out and just backed it with the same paper I was using there. So that one came together really quickly, but this is a precious memory to me and my family. And I was really happy to get those pictures finally on a layout and in a scrapbook. So it was so fun to scrapbook these pictures. This kit is amazing. And the fun sets that were released just prior to it really enhanced and made it so much better, all of the different things you could do with the pictures that you have. You can even keep in mind pictures that you might have taken this year. And okay, I'm just checking questions because we're kind of at the end here. Glenna said, I can see back to the store, must have the gingerbread house. I know, it's great. It's a great set. I highly recommend it. It's been really fun. And I don't see any other questions on anything. So I know we just had Christmas, but the feeling of Christmas is still with me. I hope it's with you too. Remember that I've also designed with the January Kiwi Club kit, and it is really fun. So you still have time to sign up if you're not a Kiwi Club member. As long as you sign up in the month of December, you'll receive that January Kiwi Club. So we have a few more days. And hey, I've got another question coming up. Samara Keen, she's sitting outside and one of the community cats is watching with her. And then Michelle, the tree with the insert behind it. What group did that come in? Okay, the tree with the insert behind it. Michelle, was that the last one? Was it the one piece? The tree with the insert behind it. This one is from Wonderland. It's number 4. This one is from Tiny Seasons. The tree with the insert behind it. Okay, Tiny Seasons. I'm not sure what the insert behind it means. No, it was the layout prior to that. Okay. Oh, which one? Was it this one? Waiting for her answer. If it was this one, it was from the Rejoice. It said Rejoice And I think it was from one of the design kits for this. It was from the Rejoices Set, yes. And I think it was from the one. It is the one, yep, you're right, from the snap frame. So take a peek, look and see if you can still find that. It's really cute. But it was fun to kind of play with it that way. So it's the large tree. I think this is the one that she's talking about. She keeps cutting out. All right, so just to remind everyone, again, you can still get your January Kiwi Club kit by signing up if you're not a member this month in December. Once December's over, you can't just join for that club anymore. So I hope you had a wonderful Christmas and that you took lots of pictures and had a good time with your family, and you'll have these wonderful sets and clubs and papers to preserve those memories in a fun way. It was great. I'm so happy to have been able to share these with you. Be sure and take a look at the Kiwi Club PDF for December. Joy to the world. And you guys have a great day. Have a great day with your family. Bye-bye.